This is a story about a science educator, a small town, and a school.
My name is Robert Tymofichuk. The kids call me...
We call him Mr. T.
Mr. T.
And I pity the fool who doesn't see his impact on the new Myrnam School.
Myrnam is located approximately 2 hours northeast of Edmonton. When I was a kid, Myrnam was a thriving place. Things changed over the years. The first thing that happened was the elevator got shut down. The small town essentially became smaller.
The school, a number of years ago, was starting to have some conversations about closing the high school.
We knew that we had to do something different, and we wanted to get the kids engaged in their learning, and we started our journey of project-based learning.
Because Mr. T has ideas about
how everything could be turned into something authentic and something hands-on.
So they secured an A+ for energy grant from Inside Education.
And we used it to retrofit a greenhouse.
The grade 7 students were looking at conduction, convection, and radiation. Their goal was to try to make the greenhouse a year-round facility.
They saw it as kind of skipping out on science to go and work on the greenhouse, but we fooled them all because they were still working on science.
And this hands-on approach took root.
The students that we have here have a lot of background in agriculture. We want to feed our community.
Literally feed. Hydroponics.
It's like a greenhouse that's indoors. And the students are involved right from the design of the system to operating it to essentially marketing the food product.
I think this really is an eye-opener for us students, how to actually grow your own food and where it comes from and all the work that it takes and how to be sustainable while growing that food. We supply our concession and the cafe down here at Myrnam, CJ's.
In fact, the students supply the energy for a whole smorgasbord of projects, from robotics to wind power to a fleet of solar-powered golf carts. Right now, they're working on this school bus.
The bus behind me is not a school bus anymore, it's a cool bus.
My mistake. Team Tiny Home is making a small, sustainable home, and it's
Awesome.
I was gonna say cool.
One of the ideas was a sustainable poultry project.
But Myrnam had a bylaw against backyard chickens, so...
Students went to council and they said, we'd like to amend the bylaws.
And they did.
When I came here, I walked in and I saw the chicken coop and I love chickens. And I'm like, Mr. T, you guys have a chicken coop? Like, can I put chickens in there? And he's like, absolutely. And I got the permit.
And that's not the only project to have flown the coop from school to community.
So this is, we call it our C-Tech building, and it is a village-owned and operated building. It just gives us the space to be able to do all of these things.
This building has to be not only environmentally sustainable, but economically sustainable. There was a team of students called Team Net Zero.
Well, the initial goal was to make this entire building completely net zero.
And then actually got a chance to present to the village council.
Yeah, it seems unusual to have, grade 7 to 9 students advising the adults on decision-making process, but they did their homework, they did their research.
Yeah, we were pretty confident going into it after the research we had done, so we were pretty sure that is exactly what we needed. And
exactly what they needed were great big solar arrays.
We spent 3 months trying to write grant applications, see what we could apply for. We had so many meetings.
But that hard work paid off.
We've seen it since it was a little baby grow into actually having the panels.
I am so immensely proud of these kids. They are stars.
Wouldn't happen without Mr. T.
And another thing that wouldn't happen without Mr. T is there's no longer any talk about closing the school. Quite the opposite. Project-based learning has sparked something.
It's a different way of educating kids, and people are responding to it.
I gotta say, it is fun, all the time.
Considering that we have this program here, it's lucky. That's what it is.
The school and community are so interlinked, and a healthy school is a healthy community. Myrnam may be small, but it's what we do here that's so important. The students feel that they can make a difference, and they are going to become our future leaders.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. New Myrnam School, engaged students, and Mr. T. Big ideas from a small town.